For me and my organization, we see 16 days of activism as an opportunity, especially as a state, Kano State, where our organization is based, to openly speak out and engage our people at the grassroots level about gender-based violence and its effects in the community.
Okay, so aside, the fact that it's a global campaign and a global period set aside to put the spotlight on the issues that women and girls face, especially when it comes to gender-based violence and everything that comes with it. For me, I see it as a big opportunity where all actors get to collaborate and do something meaningful to create awareness around GBV, around the different forms of GBV and how it affects women and girls. It also is an opportunity for countries to plug in and program better when it comes to responding and preparing for GBV.
Everybody has his own meaning, but to me, 16 days of activism, like other people think it's only violating a woman or a girl physically. Mine is broad because I see violations not only physical. I see sexual. I see psychological violation, economic violation, and other violations. Even refusing a girl from going to school is also violating her rights. So not only seeing violation as harming someone physically or sexually assaulting someone, I see it as when a husband controls his wife, maybe he refuses her to work, or economically he deprives her of something. So my own is a broader sense of violation, not only physical.
Of course, for us as an organization, is a wake-up call once again to ensure that everybody comes on board in ensuring that we all put an end. It becomes everybody's responsibility. As far as even in as much as the government is there, also performing its roles, it's also bestowed on each and every member of the society to also ensure that when they see perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence in their environment, they report. When they see perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence within their locality, they don't say that it is not their business. They take it upon themselves to ensure that they report to the appropriate authority. That's what it means for us at BSV, and that's why in the last since the beginning of this 16 days of activism, we have been engaging, different stakeholders, different groups of individuals, in respect to how they can ensure that yes, they are aware of the support services that are available for them.
Before now, it is actually more like a taboo kind of for a family to come out openly and say, oh, our child has been raped. Oh, my daughter has been sexually harassed because of stigmatization. Funny thing is, you might likely not have anyone marrying any of the daughters from that family because of stigmatization. It is that bad, and it was that bad, and it was that serious. So you tend to find out that people shy away from reporting. People are afraid of reporting. If there's a situation in a family, you will see religious leaders coming in, you see traditional leaders coming in to advise the parents, especially the parents, on the reasons and the need to keep quiet and to just let it go. to just throw it under the carpet and just keep quiet and move on as if nothing happened, thereby putting the victim, I'll use the word victim because those cases have gone down the drain, doing so much harm to the person affected. Now, now from our interventions, we're able to make emphasis and engage at even grassroots level our people on the need to reporting, on the need for reporting, on the need for speaking out, on the need for coming up, and on the need for even following and checkmarking cases for accountability and seeing that justice is being served. And we're also educating our people about the effect of stigmatization and the importance of safe space. And in October 2020, Center for Information Technology and Development, CTED, from their research, they came out with a figure of 66 cases recorded in Kano State alone. I see it as a great achievement and a progress because we are now having our people coming out to speak out against any form of gender-based violence, coming out to say, this happened to me and I'm not comfortable with it. Coming out to say, so person is responsible for this and I want it to be taken up. We see community leaders, community heads, traditional leaders, religious leaders coming out to say, oh, we have a case, so please can you come and take it up? So those are some of the interventions we're doing, and particularly creating safe space. And I think we've made so much progress, and I'm happy we're able to achieve that as we strive to do more.
Okay, so I'll just do a quick, would I say, give a little context. So earlier this year, I had the opportunity to be part of a research team that worked on sexual violence in 3 countries, but I'm just going to focus on a few of the findings that we got from Nigeria. And according to data in 2015, recent data as well, one in 4 girls experience sexual violence before they 18, and that just tells you how much of a problem we're in when it comes to prioritizing with the response to violence against women and girls. And I've worked a lot in the north, from north central, northeast, mostly north. And women in the north are more likely to experience GBV than women in the southwest of Nigeria. So looking at those contexts and tying that to, a lot of the work I have been doing, it's clear to see that violence against women and girls is not a new issue. It's been happening for decades. But what we can see now is there's beginning to be a lot of awareness, a lot of norm changing, a lot of partners who are in this space trying to make sure that we are violence against women and girls.
In our community, when you say violations, their mind, like I said, goes to physical violations. People don't actually report other violations because they see it as a normal thing. It's not normal, but you have to come out and tell people that so and so are also violations, not only physical violations. So people, like in my community, it's like they have this silence, or they have this culture of silence. When things happen, they tend to settle it instead of report it because they see settlement as the best way. But for me, reporting such issues will maybe reduce it, because the people that are doing, the perpetrators, will be scared to even try to do it if they see others being punished. But if you continue to solve it or settle it and give them that room to go and violate other people, that's when they have the power over people. But I think reporting is the best issue for me. In most circumstances, you should report violations because it tends to deter people from doing it.
Of course, one of the critical trends, which I would say that has, has changed. Of course, we are not where we want to be there yet. I mean, but we know that yes, we would get there. Is the ability for people to trust the police in handling cases of sexual and gender-based violence. We all know that in the society that we are today, um, the trusting the police when it comes to cases of this nature is always a difficult one. It's always a difficult one. So the capacity that we have built in the police, the the support that we have given the police has made people to be able to trust what they do, such that a survivor can go to a police station, which we have our sisters units, we call them family support units at the police station. A survivor can go there and be rest assured that that case will be dealt with professionally without having any iota of doubt as to if this police, if they will blame me, or if this police will, if they will body shame me, they will even say I'm the one that went there. Those are the beliefs of the police before now, but it's changing totally. And of course, people are beginning to realize that yes, okay, police can actually intervene in this matter and they can handle it professionally. That's just some of the patterns that I have seen over time. And of course, the fact that people are beginning to become more aware.
I think what should be done more is educating our youth, especially our youth, about the consequences of being a perpetrator. This year, our organization saw the need of holding a seminar instead of the traditional work against gender-based violence, because we realized after our work last year, where we had a total number of 400 persons, and 95% of them are youths. And we, looking at the number of cases in Kano State this year, we felt there's a need to go back and have a roundtable discussions. There's a need to go back and engage women and engage experienced women that engage survivors and bring them firsthand and in a closed door, because we know that still, because of tradition and religion, some women will not be able to come out and join the traditional work. So we felt a seminar in a closed door will be more engaging for our women. So we decide to bring in professionals. We decide to bring in gender experts to relate with our youth, at our youths, female adolescents, and even secondary school students, to better enlighten them, so that we'll be looking at gender-based champions that are passionately advocating for a cause they know its effect. They are passionately advocating for a cause. They know the consequences of being a perpetrator. They are passionately advocating for a cause they detest. So my call, especially to youths and to everyone, is to unite. This is not a fight for civil society organizations alone. This is not a fight for specific government agency that are saddled with such responsibility alone, but this is our fight. It's called for unity in the fight against gender-based violence.
I would say progress is being made, obviously. Where we are now in 2022 is definitely not where we were 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So there's definitely been progress and coordination among GBV, non-state and state actors. There's been better coordination, I would say, because I've been involved in a couple of coordination meetings in FCT Abuja for the GBV response mechanism. However, I think it's really important that these structures are in every state. So for state actors, the Ministry of Women Affairs, the state Ministry of Women Affairs, it's important that there are coordination mechanisms among all of these actors, because we have a lot of people programming for women and girls. And it's important that where one organization stops, another one is able to step in, or we are able to make progress when each person is able to plug in their resource towards managing this problem. Also, I think it's also very important that we engage men and boys. I would not lie that I didn't used to be a strong advocate of that. But looking at statistics and how it is said that people who abuse women are often people who are closest to them, people who are relatives, people who are friends, and obviously the rates of GBV among women is higher than that in men and boys. So it's important to view men and boys as allies and as change agents, because when we're able to do some or inspire some sort of social and behavioral change by targeting harmful norms, by targeting toxic masculinity, by targeting, a system that just views women as property, as that doesn't necessarily view women as. It's very difficult when you get into a space and you're talking gender equality and everybody goes mad, like, how are men and women equal? It's like we can never be equal. But then it's that concept, it's threatened by a culture that has told men for years that if it is not you, it's not anybody. Any woman that comes under your shoe, because you're a man, you are bigger, because you're a man, you have to do this, you have to do that. So when we're able to target the root causes of these problems, change how we're the socialization of men and boys, we would begin to see a lot of difference, because men and boys who are often the perpetrators now become the change agents, now become the champions, now become people who are groomed to respect and to respect everyone, basically. And then I think we would see a lot of change when it comes to that.
Okay, it has awakened, like people are reporting cases, but there are more unreported cases than reported cases actually up till now. But with the violations and the attack from CSOs, CSOs attack government. So like we are now, I would say we are now reviewing our laws to include other punishments that are not in the penal code. Like we had CSO organizations that, and the government, that's the Ministry of Human Affairs, we have reviewed, we have harmonized the penal code and the VAP Act, which Kano hasn't domesticated, that's the VAP Act. So we want to harmonize it into one law. It hasn't come into being now, but we are in process. We want to harmonize the VAP Act and the penal code so that we have more offenses, and like rape that was defined in the penal code, it only said a rape of a man a rape of a woman by a man. So we have added the one that is in the VAP Act to add a man can be raped, a child can be, a boy can be raped. Before we don't have that, and we have increased, and now the years has been increased from 14. I was initially in the penal code to 18. So we are reviewing our laws to see how we can accommodate new offenses and issues that are happening around us now.
Of course, what's important that we do more is to ensure that we pass the message across to the people on a daily basis, that people get to go to, or that cases get to go to court. We need to keep on announcing our victory. I mean, if this person gets sentenced, of course, we understand that the justice system in its own can prolong issues. I mean, you can be on a case for as high as almost 2 years sometimes. But nevertheless, we need to let people know that, because the reality is, from what we are set in Lagos, at the point, for instance, for a case of let's say defilement or rape, at the point where the survivor make a report to the police, and the point where the police take that matter to the court, and the perpetrator was arrested. Of course, before they could take the matter to the court, the perpetrator has to be in the picture. So from the point where the perpetrator gets to court and that case is heard, that perpetrator in himself alone is going to carry things straight up before they even hear, before the hearing of the case now begins. So these are some of the victories that we need to, ensure that survivors get to know, so that it can they can have much more trust in what the system is like. Because the reality is that at this point that we are in Lagos, nobody can buy his or her way in when it comes to issues of sexual and gender-based violence. And we need to keep on hammering on this. These people, oh, you saw this person uh, who was accused or who was found guilty of this. This person has been sent to this years imprisonment. We need to keep on announcing that victory so that people can know that yes, there's a deterrent to this issue in Lagos.